Hello. Did you just, like, work out and look all sweaty? Does it? Yes, I did. I just ran, and it dawned on me while running on the treadmill, because it's minus 5 degrees outside, and that's going to be the high. Minnesota, yay. Don't move to this state. Just don't move to this state. It occurred to me that I set up this company called Asshole Consulting. I know that's crass language, but too bad. And I get a lot of emails and requests for advice on, among other things, how to self-publish a book. And what I promised myself with Asshole Consulting is I would not charge people for stuff that was not unique to them. So if I keep having like a common question answered, I'd either put it up on the internet for free, write about it or something, and one of those things is how to write your own book or self-publish and all that. And it is not hard. It isn't. You can figure this out yourself. It's just there's a couple tricks and things you can do to make the process easier and also dramatically increase the editing content. I wouldn't say the quality content because I truly don't believe real readers, real consumers of literature give a damn about typos. I really don't think so. I only think that women with their masters in English, there versus there, oh my god, it's like, okay, those are not the people you really care about. So I guess that would be the number one thing. Fuck typos, don't worry about typos. I mean, care about them, don't write crap. Have it edited a little bit, but yeah, don't worry about that. That's the least of your concern. So let's go through. I even put together a little bit of an outline here because I want it to be structured and organized. All right. First, write the damn thing. Don't say, hey, I think I feel maybe I should more kind of like want to write a book. Either do it or don't. And if you're going to do it, fucking do it. Okay? Hang on. I'll be back. Let me show you something. This is my latest book, Bachelor Pad Economics, and I want you to show you, it's pretty darn thick. It's 512 pages. You know how long it took me to write that whole damn thing and finish it? 3 months. You want to know why? Because I committed to doing it. I wrote every fucking day. And I would write about, I'd say, at least 4 to 6 hours a day. You know what? It sucked. It just sucked. But you know what? I got it done in 3 months. So instead of procrastinating about it like Brian over in Family Guy for 3 or 4 years, just do it. Okay? My other book, what was it? Enjoy the Decline. I did that in a month and a half. And Worthless, I did in 2 weeks. Of course, they're smaller. But it's just, I committed to doing it. I didn't, well, maybe I'll get to it. Fucking get the shit done. Get her done. For once, the redneck hick saying has pertinency or relevance. All right? So that's the thing. Just write the damn thing. Okay? Get it done. Next thing, editing. Do not, there are editing services out there, and I recommend them. You're going to have to pay. If you want to do it on the cheap, though, here's the one primary rule you must follow. Do not have men edit your work. Do not. Only have women edit your work. And the reason why is women are much more anal retentive. Men will just read for content. Yeah, we don't care about typos. We don't know about typos. We really don't know. We wouldn't pick up, but they're there. I've sent my first book I ever wrote, I sent through 2 guys. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine. Not one typo, not one thing they caught. Then I sent it through one girl. She caught like 8 real major, like wrong words and missing punctuation, things like that. The problem, however, you're going to run into with women is that they're going to want to change everything. They're going to want to change what you wrote, your style. Well, I moved this paragraph here. Da, da. Tell them, shut the fuck up. I am the author. You look for typos. That's it. Because every author has their own writing style. Every person has their own writing style. It's not right or wrong. It's always right. Okay? A lot of people, well, your writing is so conversational. Yeah. And guess what? Most people like that. I've had women try to move here and then, and it like came back like an English teacher had mucked up my thing. And how many English teachers do you know actually get published? Okay, exactly. You have an idea. You have your own personality, your own writing style. Be that. Don't let some gal, arrows and fucking red and all that other crap. No, you explicitly instruct the women editors. You look for typos and obvious mistakes. I don't want you to move sentences. I don't want you to do something. I want blatant errors. Obvious errors that people say, holy crap, look, nothing was done about this. It's a genuine mistake, not an opinion. How are you going to publish it? Just go Amazon, guys. Just go Amazon. Yeah, I know there's Kobo. I know there's all these other things. Just go Amazon, okay? That's the greatest thing. It's one of the best things that's happened in the book publishing industry is Amazon, because you don't need to suck some New York East Coast publishing house's cock to get your book published. There's the market, Amazon. It's all. You notice how Borders went belly up and Tower Books went belly up and Barnes and Noble's barely holding on? There's a reason it's called Amazon. So, just go with Amazon. But Amazon does not, you don't go to Amazon.com. You go to their publishing arm, which they 100% own. It's called CreateSpace. You go to CreateSpace.com. Very simple. Just follow the instructions. You fill it out. I mean, it's no harder than buying something online, I guess. You got to provide, like, bank account information to where you want your money deposited. And so if you have online banking, you could fill out the CreateSpace.com thing. Right? You'll start a project. Because the CreateSpace doesn't just do books, they do every type of media, music, whatever you want. And it hand-holds you through it step by step. Now, where it pertains to authors, you're going to have to upload 2 files. You're going to have to upload the book itself, the content, and then a cover. And you're going to start with the book first because the cover depends on how many pages are in the book, because that determines how thick the spine of the book is. So don't even worry about the cover until you finish writing the book. Now, Amazon recommends, they have templates, Microsoft Word templates that you can download. And these templates, they do 2 things. One, they standardize it, so you don't want to toy with the template. You just don't want to open up a new Microsoft Word document. Download their template. It's Microsoft Word, but it's their template, most of which are going to be 6 by 9 inches. That's kind of more or less the universal thing. You're going to say, what's the opposite? What if I want to just go with 6 by 9, because that's like 95% of the books will fall, and that's fine. No one, I used to think like, oh God, is this the right, should it be smaller, fatter, wider, whatever. No one cares. It's all content, it's all ideas, so don't worry about that. So just go with 6 by 9 unless you have like a huge ass book or a really thin one, maybe get a pamphlet size. So 6 by 9. What these templates will also do is offset every other page to account for the fact that there's going to be a spine. If you look at the thickness of a book, it doesn't go perfectly centered. You have pages on one side or the other. So definitely use that template. Now, you can do what I do. I write it in an 8 by standard Microsoft Word document, and I copy and paste. But I think going forward, what I'm going to do is just work with that template and go in there. Now, when you're writing your book, if you have images, charts, graphs, whatever, some kind of multimedia, don't even bother changing the size of your charts and your graphs. You want to know why? Because you're going to add a bunch of shit up top that's going to shift everything down, and it's all going to get disorganized, and you're going to have to go through and reorganize all that. Just write the damn book. Don't worry about how big the gaps are or anything like that. Because before all this process is done, you're going to add a table of contents, maybe a foreword or a preface or whatever it is, and that's just going to screw stuff up. So just write it. Get it out there. Don't worry about scaling charts. That'll be one of the last things you do. So you have that there. Now, once you write it, send it through your editing team. I usually have 3 women, and I bribe them with chocolates. I send one chapter. As I finish each chapter, I send it out to one person. And then that person comes back with the changes. I make the changes. And I send out that same chapter again with the changes of that. And the second person goes through it. Maybe pick up some other mistakes the other person did. And when that one comes back, I throw it back to the third person. And by the time the third person's done, if they haven't caught the mistake, it ain't going to be there. Most people aren't going to pick it up. And I do that with each chapter. But I do it as I finish each chapter. So by the time, it's not like I finish the book and I'm like, I got to send a whole fucking book to everybody. You send one chapter at a time, piecemeal it out, make the changes as they come in, and then by the time you're done, maybe you got one chapter left that people got to look at, and you make those changes. All right, so, you've written it. People have edited it. You've gone through and made the changes, corrected any mistakes. Now you have to, if you want, add some previous pages. And here's the 2 things that I would definitely insist you have. One, have 1 page of blank. And make sure it's on the right side, because some people are going to want you to sign the book. It's a pain in the ass if it's on the left, because you got to hold this big ass honking book up. You got to kind of sign it like this, and the signature gets all screwed up. So I'd say, try and get it on the right side. It's not vital, but that's just a thing. And then you're also going to have to add a table of contents, both of which are going to knock down everything. Now the real pain is going to come when you got a number of pages. And Microsoft Word has made this so horrendously complex and complicated. I mean, really, I've spent 7 hours trying to get my book pages numbered. And I don't even remember how I did it. It was so hard and so difficult. I would try to find someone to pay them to do it. I know Steve Ballmer is no longer CEO of Microsoft, but Microsoft Word 2010, this one thing, you'd think it'd be easy, like say, oh, start numbering here on. They won't do it. They just won't do it. You have to insert a page break, then you have to go header footer. There are some tutorials online. Absolutely all of them are jack shit. I wish I could give you more advice. I wish I could set up something that was very clear and precise on how to do it. I accidentally, every book I've written, I finally fell into it, stumbled upon it. Do not bother even trying to get both pages numbered. Microsoft Word just assumes you want only one page numbered, like the evens or the odds. Just go with it. It's not worth it. If you see Steve Ballmer somewhere in Seattle, grab a baseball bat, beat his fucking kneecaps, and send me video, and I will award you a $500 reward. No, I won't, because I know someone's going to say, "Oh, you really threaten it?" But no, really, yeah, do it. I'll go to jail. No, it's not that. It's not worth going to. Actually, it is worth going to jail. No, I'm kidding. I don't know, am I or not? It's a really pissing off experience, and this was like 2 months ago. I was trying to deal with this, and I mean, really, it was frustrating. So just go online, try and figure it out, stuff like that. If you can't get your pages numbered starting at the beginning of the book, like it's going to start numbering pages like the very first page, do it. Because no one's really going to care that there's a 1 on the signature page, a 2 on the table of contents, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 on your chapter 1 and on. You just need your pages numbered so you can do that. So, you've numbered the pages. You got your signature page, you got your table of contents. Now that you have your pages numbered, you can actually put numbers associated with each chapter. So that's an important thing to do too, so don't forget that. Now, let's see that. Yeah. So then assuming everything's touched up, and here's the other thing. You want to save numbering the pages till the very last thing. So do all your touching up, move your charts, scale them, everything like that. Make sure it looks the way you want it to look, and then create the table of contents. You should already have a table of contents, but not without the numbers. So you have a table of contents, you have your signature page, you have a finalized, everything the way you like it. Then you go ahead and start numbering the pages based on where the beginning of the chapter happens to lie in the book. You upload it. That template, Microsoft Word, just upload it to CreateSpace. You log in, it says upload book. Now, what you have done is you got the interior of the book. It's finalized, more or less. You can always change it later. But knowing how many pages are in the book is going to allow you to calculate how big the spine is. And that's important because now you have to calculate the cover and draw a cover and stuff like that. They have services that you could pay to have them design a nice cover for you. I think that if you can do 4th grade mathematics, you can at least calculate the cover size because it gives you a formula, allows for bleeding, which is like kind of the trim of the book, and stuff like that. So you enter in the number. It's a simple formula. I think it's like 0.25 inches plus 6 inches plus some calculation per page plus 6 inches the width of the book plus 0.25 inches, which is the bleed. Don't worry about that. Just there. Times 9, because 9 is always the height of the book. And that will give you how big you need to work. Now, the cover becomes very interesting because the cover needs to have a certain resolution. And if you open up Microsoft Paint, that is 900 dots per inch. Now, there's a workaround to this. You can download a utility called GIMP. And GIMP will allow you to save in a resolution of 300 dpi or dots per inch. I personally have done it this way, and this is where again you might want to hire someone to do it, but you should be able to do it given 4th grade math and all this. I figure out how big my cover is going to be in terms of inches, and then what I do is I take a Microsoft Paint image because I'm very proficient in that. It's pretty easy to use. GIMP is you got to be a fucking whiz to use it, but we're going to use GIMP later for something. And what I do is I multiply the final dimensions by 3. And the reason why is I think Paint saves in a resolution of 900 dots per inch. So if you increase that by 3, 90 dots per inch. So if you increase that by 3, maybe even 3.5, you have this Microsoft Paint. It's huge. You can always scale down the size so you can work with it. And I create my cover in Microsoft Paint in something that is 3.5 times the size of, the actual book cover. You say, well, why would you do that? Well, here's the reason why. Microsoft Paint won't allow you to save in 300 dpi. It will, at the highest resolution is 90 dots per inch, I think. And so I say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something 3 times or 3.5. You could go for it. Let's just be safe, go for it. Create it 4 times as big. And then make your design in that. And what you can do is you save that cover. And you then take that cover, you save it as a JPEG or a PNG, doesn't really matter. And then you open it with GIMP. And what GIMP will allow you to do is it will allow you to save as 2 things. PDF. You have to upload it as PDF. Your book content, you can upload it as Word. I don't know why that is, but you can. And you can always save a Microsoft Word document as PDF and upload if you have any troubles. But for some reason, your cover has to be in PDF. So GIMP allows you to save in PDF, and it allows you to convert something into 300 dots per inch. And that's great because what it will do is it will take your cover and it will shrink it down. Because it's a 90 dot per inch, you say, I want this to be 300 dots per inch, and GIMP will automatically shrink it down to that size, which, if you do your math right, will be exactly the size of what you want. Now, if you did it 4 times, you did the rough and tumble way, you're going to have to you'll save it as 300 dots per inch, but then you'll resize it, which you could do in GIMP as well, to whatever the dimensions were of your book. Once you have that, then you upload that cover, and you're set to go. Now, here's the problem with covers. Think about how a book cover looks. I'll grab this book here again. The front cover right here is on the right. The back cover is on the left, and the spine is in the middle. But since we're used to reading from left to right, oh, you think the front cover goes here. Well, the way books are binded, you can obviously see that your front cover would be on the back, and your back cover would be on the front. So remember, your front cover goes to the right. It's not reading. You got to think, spatially. Then you have your spine calculation, and then you have your back cover. So you have that there. Say, who did that? Jorge Gonzalez. He's my go-to artist. He's my default artist. Very good artist. And you know what? One thing I would say about this, people do judge a book by its cover. They really do. I spent $400 on that cover. It was worth it because everyone looks at it and they say, wow, look at that. It's visual. It's all visual. Look at how guys look at girls, girls look at guys. It's like, oh, let me get to know their personality. Nobody judges anybody their personality, at least at first. So it definitely is worth getting a really cool, kick-ass cover. Jorge Gonzalez. Look, I think it's J.E. Gonzalez Art at WordPress. Just look Jorge Gonzalez Artist. You'll find him. But that's an editorial comment. Okay, so now when it comes to the cover, one thing I want you to do, though, measure 40 times, cut once. You don't want to have to dick around and tweak with that cover all the time. So make sure you do it right. Make sure you do your math right, because if you did the math wrong and you spent all this time designing a cover and then you resolute it down to 300 dots per inch in GIMP, it's going to be, and then all of a sudden your calculations were wrong. You got to do that whole damn thing over again. And Jorge's really good with the math on that too. So maybe go or a professional. Okay, you upload the image or the cover. So you've uploaded the book, you've uploaded the image, and it will take about a week or 2. Now, one thing I will point out about the back of the cover, you've got to consider this, is this little UPC code. You have to have your back cover allow for this somewhere. Thankfully, Jorge and I, we did a little bit of pre-planning. I knew about this, so just consider that when you're designing your cover. But that, among other things, the people over at CreateSpace will then take a look at your book. Make sure that the cover jibes with the spine and the calculations and the content of the book. They will also make sure that they can place that UPC code somewhere. If they have any problems, they'll let you know, but in about 1 to 2 weeks, they'll get back to you. They'll say, hey, it's approved, it came through. Not to say you shouldn't trust them. I personally don't, because you've put that much work into it. You want to approve it for yourself. Now, there's 2 ways to approve it. One, you can look at it online, and this is pretty cool. Since you've uploaded digital files, and you've uploaded a digital cover, there really is no physical, it goes straight to the printing press. It does. It just goes straight to the printing press. So I know logically I can trust it that this is what the book is going to look like, because they're going to give you an online review tool and say, this is what your book will look like. And it's, you click it, that page actually turns, oh look, here's all my stuff, here's all it's laid out. So certainly review that. But after you're done reviewing that, you are going to want to order a proof copy physically, because you know what? Who knows what could go wrong? You want to test the whole system, because all you've done so far is the digital part. You haven't done the printing part. And not that I don't trust CreateSpace, I do. God bless you people over at CreateSpace and Amazon. I love you guys to death. But since this is your work, your baby, and I know you're really going to be eager to get that, oh, I want to see that book, get a physical copy. Get a proof copy ordered before you hit the publish button. They will print it off. This tests the rest of the supply chain. You test the printers, you test everything else, you get your book in the mail, and it's a great fucking feeling, and then you get to look and see, this is what the customer is going to get. You're going to look through it, and you know what? You're going to see some little tiny mistakes. The heading was a little bit off, that chart didn't align just right, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not one person has ever complained, oh, your heading was, cut off. No one's complained. Again, people want to read for ideas. Anal retentive English teachers look for mistakes because they'll never be as successful as an author as I am. Oh, it's true. I'd name my English teachers, but I can't remember a single one of them because they are that unmemorable, or immemorable. Sorry. Oh, and another thing, you can make up words as you go along when you write. As long as it makes sense, you can make up words. That's not a word. Did you understand what I wrote? Well, yeah, I know what you were saying. Then why the fuck are you complaining? I should come up with some words. Every like 200 pages, you will find the English language is inadequate to convey what you're trying to convey, and you'll create your own word. Do it. Write your own word. Then, when they cite it on the dictionary, created 2014, but first appeared in English language, United States. So we have that there. What else? So don't worry too much about. It's like if it's an egregious error, like you accidentally copied and pasted the wrong paragraph. Don't worry about that. So you get that, then you go in, you authorize. You just say, yep, publish. Put the green light, go. Amazon will then. You're set by that time. You're set to go. Then Amazon will ask, or CreateSpace will ask, do you want to advertise on these additional marketing channels? Things like, do you want to offer it around the world? You have worldwide rights. Just hit that. What else? They'll say, do you want this to be part of, what is it? It's like a library sharing thing. No, fuck that. You don't want to be in the library, And can you loan it out? Do you want it? No. Make sure it's all your stuff. Don't lend it out. Don't, oh yeah, you can borrow it for 14 days. No. You busted your ass off. You make people pay for that. So I'll give out my stuff for free. So when you're filling that out, when you're doing that, I'm sorry, ISBN numbers, just let them do that. You say, what's an ISBN? Just let them do it. So I apologize, that wasn't chronologically correct, but you get my idea. So then there's that. Now, the next stage is Kindle. Should you publish on Kindle? Hell yes. 60% of my sales come from Kindle. Not maybe because in part because my readership is younger, but yes, you do want to do Kindle. Now, Kindle creates a whole new different ball of wax because, unless you've seen a Kindle, Kindle, it's not pages. It's all digital. So it's not a book. It's not a paper book where you just, here's page 1, page 2, page 3. There's old people, and then there's people who have really good vision. And the old people are going to increase the font size on their Kindle. You can do that with Kindle. You can increase the font size so the words are really big. Well, you can obviously understand if you increase the font size, or shrink the font size, pages become irrelevant. So there aren't pages. Now that kind of presents an issue for a Kindle book, especially when it comes to the table of contents. Since there are no pages, depending on when it scales, well, what if someone opens up your book on a Kindle and they want to go to chapter 4? There's no page, depending on how they scale. So, how does Kindle know? Well, this is where page breaks come in. Page breaks is where it's a page break. I don't know. It's a concept unto itself. It tells the Kindle, it tells the computer, here is a new chapter. Essentially is what it does. And you insert a page break at the end of every chapter, or the beginning of a new chapter, right? In between where that chapter ends and the title of the new chapter begins, you put a page break in there. I think it's insert page break. You can look it up on the internet, not terribly difficult. Now, that's fine, but to create a table of contents, there's a little bit different. So there's a problem there. Well, we still have the same chapter names, but we don't have numbers. You're right. But that's where you use their table of contents creator. So you've established where the chapters are, but you haven't named the chapters. I know you may have a table of contents. Get rid of that from the original Microsoft Word document. Just use it to say, this is going to be our table of contents creator, which is going to be available when you're going through Kindle. And I'll explain where to go for Kindle later. We're talking about the document now. So you go ahead, you get rid of your table of contents, and then once you put in your page breaks to tell the computer where the chapters are, to name the chapters, you use your table of contents creator. You highlight the actual, chapter 1, bibbity boppity boop. You highlight that, and you change the font to header 1, or heading 1. I know that sounds odd. You're like, what is that? Just trust me on that. Highlight it, you make it heading 1. I think I'd have to look it up. But it's not that difficult. You can find it. So look up heading 1. There are tutorials on how to do this. I'm just going to give you the quick and dirty version. Okay? So this is preparing your document. So you've deleted your table of contents. You also need to get rid of the numbers. I know how you numbered your pages before because it's going to be in a physical format. You got to get rid of the numbers before you upload it to Kindle. So you do that. You get rid of the numbers. Delete your table of contents, create a new table of contents using the Kindle table of contents creator, putting in your page breaks, highlighting the chapter titles, and then what will happen is, because you've highlighted each title, the Kindle table of contents creator will automatically name what you highlighted. So it'll be chapter 1, this. There won't be a number there because there are no numbers in Kindle, but when someone clicks on the Kindle, it will immediately take them to that chapter. Now, that's what you're going to do to edit your Kindle book, or edit your Microsoft Word document before you upload it. But you do not upload this new Microsoft Word document at CreateSpace. You have to go to Amazon's other division, the other arm that they own, which is for its Kindle. It's called kdp.amazon.com. Now, if you create a paper book, you will immediately have the option saying, do you want this to be published in Kindle? And you say, yes, I do. You do that, what they'll do is say, okay, we've taken care of it. We've sent in all the information, including the ISBN number, author, all this kind of, the information that they need to put up on Amazon.com. All that data has been carried over to Kindle. You have to then go to kdp.amazon.com, log in, set up your account. I don't know why it's not streamlined. It just isn't. You're going to have to do CreateSpace and KDP. And then once you log in, you should see another project, and it should be the exact same book that you did before. Now, you go through that. You've made the changes to your original Microsoft Word document. You've made it Kindle ready. And let me make sure I'm doing this right. We've got page breaks, table of contents you've created. You've assigned a heading. And then you upload it. That's it. Now, your cover will have already transferred from CreateSpace. ISBN, about the author, you got to have a book description, all this other stuff, so it transfers over. The only thing you need to do, and this is pretty slick how they've done it, Kindle is not paper. It's all digital. So they also then, once you upload it to KDP, Kindle, they allow you to review it online just as if you're looking at a Kindle. And this is 100% exactly what people would see on Kindle. So you're going to go through Kindle. The key thing is to make sure your links work. You click on Chapter 4, it takes you to Chapter 4. You click on Chapter 7, it takes you to Chapter 7. And then you just kind of toy with it. You can adjust your font size with the online Kindle simulator. But if it looks good to you on Kindle, bam, hit the Publish button, and you're ready to go. Right? Now, beyond that, say, okay, I've published it. Well, how do I get sales? Well, I'm sorry, that's the hard part. Done the easy part. Now it's the hard part. You need to have a following. You need to have a network. This is the purpose that the publishing houses served. They weren't selling you editing services over at Wiley or, was it, Hughes Millington? What are I can't remember. Isn't that great? Penguin, that's one of them. I'm forgetting all these publishers. They sold you the network. They could get your book at Amazon.com. They could get your, Barnes & Noble. They could get it into Tower. They could get into that. Well, they're no longer... I mean, they could get you there, but they're not going to publish you because... Seriously, there's only two people that get published. People who are already published and people who are related to the people in the East Coast publishing housing industry. Well, you're neither. So you got to get your own network. Now, how do you do that? Okay, look. You got to have some kind of internet presence, which means you got a blog or a Twitter account or a Facebook, okay? You're not going to make any money. These idiots, and you're idiots. I'm going to write a book and maybe, hopefully, people will buy it. No. No one gives a shit about your memoirs. No one. You need a network. And that network is going to come from you having an online presence. So you use all the social media. Twitter, Facebook, whatever else. And unfortunately, this means you're going to have to write more quality shit on top of it. This is why bloggers, like myself, do pretty darn well. I have a following of about 10,000 readers a day. I write quality stuff every day. So then when I come out with a book, people are like, hey, he writes quality stuff every day. Bada boom, bada bing, like that. Right? Jenna Marbles, I don't know if you know her, look her up. It's a very interesting individual. I don't know personally, but she's a very interesting case, let's just say. The girl makes, I don't know, $4 million a year on YouTube. All she has to do is write a book, and she'd make another $10 million, because there's so many people following her online. Don't ask me why. Again, not to besmirch her, but she has a commanding internet presence. She has so many followers, so many people watch her, that she uses that presence on the internet, that cachet, to leverage and all that. You got to do the same thing. So that. The other thing you could do is you go to prominent bloggers in the field relevant to your book. So if you're writing about cooking or you're writing about cats, find blogs that specialize in cats and say, find the most popular blogger on cats. Let's say his name is Mr. Fuzzy. You say, Mr. Fuzzy, I would like to mail you a copy of my book. Will you please consider reviewing it, and I will give you $50. All right, then Mr. Fuzzy will read the book, and then Mr. Fuzzy will write a review. Oh, Cats on Parade, written by Joe Blow. And oh, Cats on Parade, da-da-da-da-da-da. If it's crap, they're going to tear it apart. If it's good, they're going to sing its praises. So that right there is up to you whether or not you put a quality piece out there. But if you don't want to write a blog, which I understand you don't have the time, your only other route is to go through social media sites that specialize in what your book is about. Send them a copy and pay them to read it and write a review. I do it for free. I do kind of an exchange. Like, I'll find other authors who are writing things that I kind of like. We're all kind of in the same genre. I say, hey, book swap. I review, you review me. Yeah, okay, yeah, bada boom, bada bing. Email each other. You can always email a PDF, but then mic it out on the internet. But whatever. It's kind of a barter, I guess you could call it, or a tit for tat. Like, okay, I'll review you, review mine. And it gets out there. But whatever it is through social media that you're going to get your market. It is not going to be going through traditional publishers. And you gotta spend time on it. Like, seriously, it took me 3 months to write this last book. I'm gonna I spend time daily getting it out there, writing reviews, reading other people's books so that they'll read mine, writing good quality pieces on my blog, and then linking to it pertinently. Not like, hey, I'm gonna write about something completely, and by the way, no, I write, here's something really helpful, here's something that's really gonna help you. And related to this, here is a link to a book that expands on it further. So it's stuff like that. YouTube channel, same thing. Any kind of social media you can get. It's a job, guys. It's a freaking job. And a lot of people, look at you. You're in your fucking ninja kicking dinosaur. Oh yeah, you know what? Get this. Captain America. Huh? Look at that. Captain America pants, sweatpants. Damn right. I do this. It's great. It's wonderful. My LaCroix water. I get to sit here. Does this look like your office? You got one of them cool fucking things, like with the little bouncy bounce Miller High Life? Yeah, High Life. It's from Milwaukee. My grandpa had that. You get Snoopy in the background. Hope you're bored. No, that's not what your office looks like. It's probably a cubicle. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point about why you want to become an author. So you don't have the fucking cubicle. So you don't have some douchebag boss. I mean, God almighty. Has anyone had a good boss? Has anyone had someone that's competent, fair, just, lets you achieve your potential? No. So, it takes work every day, but the life is much better. It is. So, and yeah, especially for beginning people, it's going to suck. You're going to have to work 2 jobs. You're going to have to work your regular daytime job to keep food on the table, and then you're going to have to run a concurrent strategy of getting your book published, finishing it off, polishing it off. But, once you get a couple of books out there, and once you get some notoriety, it's at least like a 3-year process, at least. But boy, after 3 years, what were you doing 3 years ago? Same moping, woe is me, I hate my job, self-pitying bullshit? Well, change that. Because 3 years will go by quick, and in 3 years, you know what? It's not going to be a lot. But boy, maybe you're making 10 grand, maybe 20 grand a year. Maybe you don't need your job anymore. So, and the other final thing, there's none of this bullshit, I'm writing 1 book, and then I'm going to retire and make it to the New York Times bestseller. You're not making it to the New York Times bestseller. You're going to have to write more and more and more, get a following, and you're going to have to, I write a serious book each year. 1 serious book each year. And I probably have to do that at least for the next 10 years before I can just sit on my ass and collect royalties for the rest of my life, because every book has a life cycle. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, and then the final thing, if you can, write timeless books. If you write something like, something based on Barack Obama, well, the dude's going to be out of office in like 5 years. Or not 5 years, 3 years, sorry. Unless he changes the laws, in which case, I don't think there will be a publishing industry anymore, because Civil War will break out. But for example, okay, here. Bachelor Pad Economics, I have to keep plugging this. Are there always going to be bachelors and young men and men out there in the world? Yeah, kinda. Do they always need financial advice? Yeah, kinda. Certainly this will have its peak, but it will plateau. It won't ever dissipate, because there's always that. Another one I got, Enjoy the Decline. Worthless. People are always going for worthless degrees. Try and pick a field or a topic that isn't just going to be a one-hit wonder and drop off the charts later. Get something that's a little bit more permanent. So, anyway, hope that helped out. Hope that addressed everybody's concerns on how to self-publish a book. It is absolutely worth it if you're going to write quality. Don't write your fucking memoirs that you're not. Here's one final bit of advice. No one gives a fuck who you are. Your life experiences are not unique. Unless your name is Audie Murphy, your experiences are not unique. I'm sure they're interesting. There's some anecdotes that you've had in life. There's sure some interesting things have happened. No one cares about you. Write about what other people want. Look at 50 Shades of Grey. All those sexually frustrated women in the United States. Yeah! Billionaire Christian Grey, come strap me to shit and fuck the hell out of me. Ah! Really, that's... I've even thought about, I have an idea for a Harlequin romance novel. The only problem is I just don't have the time to write it. I just don't have the mentality to write it. I don't want to write it is what it boils down to. But it would play on that, So that's it. Write what people want, and hopefully everyone's learned a lesson. Toodles.